This week on our online edition of Channel 8 News, we have exclusive interviews with members of our armed forces. Reporter Courtney Hill tells us more. For this and more, watch Channel 8 News at 6:30 p.m. on KNWT.
On Friday, officers from the Command and General Staff College came here to Wells Hall to meet with student journalists. Most of these officers have served for over 10 years. I sat down to find out why they decided to make a career out of the service.
I've always wanted to fly, though. Always wanted to fly. I always had a, you know, if I had to choose at any time in my life between the Navy and the Air Force and flying, it probably would be the Navy that I would have chosen. As it turned out, I enlisted. I became a nuke, which is, I worked on power plants for submarines for a couple years.
I wanted to go in the military just because I wanted to do a profession that was honorable. And then within the military, I wanted to do something that was kind of daring, adventurous, and I wanted to do infantry. So, you know, and that was, to me, the most exciting of within the Army.
When my mother, she retired from the reserves, so seeing her go every weekend, every 1 weekend a month, the drill, was motivating for me, and she always instilled in us to do our part, you know, do your part, give back, and she would always say freedom isn't free, so I joined the military.
I joined because I wanted to be an aviator. I wanted to fly in the military. It's something I'd wanted to do since I was very young, as you know, kind of almost a toddler, so to speak. And so that path for me was through the military.
I tend to work things up in my head, whether it's a movie or a show or something like that. And if I work it up in my head, I'm almost always disappointed. Dumb and Dumber. Loved it, but it was a disappointment because I had worked it up so much in my head. When I got into naval aviation, I had worked it up in my head since Top Gun came out, and I wasn't disappointed. Not only is the flying fun, exciting, and everything I thought it could be, the camaraderie, the people I work with are such a level of enthusiasm and fun and just almost a family type of thing that I wouldn't trade it in.
You know, during the invasion, that was a very unique experience from the beginning of the invasion all the way up to taking Baghdad, and then during the surge. I mean, that was a historic time. You know, when things weren't going so well, that then turned into something good, and so it's been a privilege to be part of those events of history.
You get in there, and once you hit the ground, then once you leave, the difference that you make while you're there. So, when you, for example, with Kosovo, to go into a village or a township that didn't have any water, running water, well water, or schools, and to just build those projects and to see those people, not just the adults, but the kids benefit from that. So, it makes it all worthwhile. So.
Go out. Our job was to go out and conduct reconnaissance missions and provide close air support to ground units. And as a scout helicopter pilot, one of the things that we kind of inculcate as people, as a community, is you know, muddy boots with the soldiers and always being there for those on the ground. And as a troop commander during that deployment, that was the epitome of what we got to do. We really got to do that and work with the ground guys during that deployment.
Reporting for Channel 8 News, I'm Courtney Hill.
For this and more, watch Channel 8 News at 6:30 p.m. on KNWT.